Good afternoon, everybody out there in YouTube land. It's your buddy Choppadong, and I'm coming at you with a hyper simple way to pick pitchers. Today, we're going to blow through a couple of bats, but we're going to show you who, I guess, to target as far as good pitchers and bad pitchers on today's slate, June 18th. I am a senior coach content contributor at DFSArmy.com. If you've never heard of us before, you ought to check us out. We have content tools and coaching that make you a better player, but more importantly, we have access to the coaches that discuss options with you, strategies, game plans, game theory, leverage plays, ownership, bankroll management, contest selection, everything that you need to become a better player in any sport it is DFS-wise that you like to play. DFSArmy.com. Head down to the comments section, find the link, click it. Use coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P, for a 20% off discount that stays with you every month you remain a member. And jump in and start asking questions today. That's what we're here for. We're starting to move a lot of our stuff behind the paywall again. So you're going to get limited access to free articles going forward. You will see some of these videos. They're going to get shorter. You will see other videos hopefully popping out as we work to bring our content to the next level. But we're trying to put as much of it behind the paywall as we possibly can because this competitive industry dictates that we do so. Not that you can't find a lot of great information for free, but honestly, our members deserve the very, very best that we have to offer. So again, contemplate coming inside today and becoming a member and unlocking all of these tools and all the access to all these coaches for yourself, because we produce winners every single day. If you follow us on Twitter at Choppadong, or you follow us the DFS Army Twitter account or whatever, you see winner after winner after winner every single day, and you see them even more inside our coaching channels inside the VIP DFS Army situation. So let's dive in today, and we're going to discuss pitching. This I share with my VIPs, but I have no problems walking you through it every single day that we talk about pitching, because first of all, I don't do this stuff every day, and second of all, this is where your foundation starts, and it shows you the power of having somebody maybe talk to you, because the way I select pitchers is different than a lot of other people in the industry. I like to start with maybe the top, but I'm chasing top salary anyway, but I'm chasing strikeout upside. That's what I want. I want massive upside for strikeouts. And because really and truly that covers up a lot of the runs. If I get a lot of strikeouts, I don't give up a lot of home runs. And that, I mean, yeah, some pitchers do allow the ball to get hit. When it gets hit real hard. But these days, with all the launch angle StatCast data and everything, it is showing us that the pitchers that give up the contact and the long ball and fly ball ratios and all that kind of stuff tend to give up a lot of fantasy points. And for me to keep that down, I'm going to want to miss bats, have that swing and miss stuff that strikes people out. First of all, I get points for strikeouts, and those points erase earned runs, because earned runs take away from strikeouts. If I'm just a contact pitcher that only has 4 or 5 strikeouts a night, I can't give up as many runs as I can if I can strike out 10 people per night. So I'm chasing that upside. I know that with it comes a little boom or bust nature, but that's what I'm chasing. I'm trying to pay down pitching-wise as much as I can, but I'm trying to get down in price without sacrificing too much, or I'm trying to make the difference in price worth it, if you will, to get a similar matchup, somebody with a similar strikeout upside tonight and maybe a little less safe floor, but because he's cheaper, his upside can bring a value multiplier of maybe 4x, 5x, 6x his salary, easier than those guys way up top. That's just how I play the game. I build a very hybridized lineup where I also stack in cash. I also target offenses. I play a little bit of the ownership game, but not a lot, and I'll show my VIPs how I do that through our stacking charts and whatever inside DFSArmy.com. But pitching-wise, we'll start at the top. I sort my research station by K-score, which is a metric combining the pitcher's strikeout ability with the team he's facing and their propensity to strike out. And this is the highest upside strikeouts of the night. It's Justin Verlander, but it's not a lot different than a Woodruff, not a lot different than a DeGrom, who's even less different than a Corbin and a Flaherty as we go down that list. So let's start here. Very, very high price, decent Vegas odds, top K-score on the night. W score is more like WOBA allowed versus WOBA of the other team. So it's kind of we want a low score there where we would want a high K-score. And then bullpen strength, because these days starters don't go as long, therefore bullpens matter. And I want somebody who can hold the damn lead if I get one. And then the matchup, looking at the overall strength of the offense that I'm facing, and a little bit of tip to whether it's a hitter's park or a pitcher's park. I mean, not that Houston is a pitcher's park, but Cincinnati certainly is not one, so it adds a little danger to the matchup. And then I'm just going to put together notes for my members that show a little bit of where I'm thinking, so you can read those as we go through. But I'm looking here, and yeah, Verlander's in play. Yes, he's the strongest pitcher on the slate. He's probably the safest pitcher on the slate. We know all of that. That's not front page news. However, does it make sense to come down $2,700 to Woodruff? I believe it does. You don't lose much in Vegas odds. It's not like he's a 280 favorite and dropping to a 145. It's a 160 and a 145. That's almost immeasurable with the flukiness of baseball. The K score is a little bit of a drop, but it's not overwhelmingly significant. The W score actually gets lower, and the bullpen is still strong. So for the $3,000, I will take that deal. I will make that sacrifice because of the $2,700. It allows me to upgrade my bats. I'm not searching for punt after punt after punt. Woodruff is a very, very strong pitching selection tonight. Probably best on the slate, which is why he's the darkest green. If I look at DeGrom, why would I pay more? $1,100 more for lower Vegas odds, a lower K score, yeah, a little bit lower W score, but a worse bullpen that can't hold the lead. Should I get one? To me, that makes no sense. Is he a GPP pivot? Of course he can be. The guy can go score 50, 60 points and win you a tournament for sure. But in terms of safety and upside, floor and ceiling, I think I like Woodruff better because he's a little bit cheaper, and I get much the same for a lower price. I mean, if I'm going to buy Frosted Flakes and I can't taste the difference between the real Frosted Flakes and the generic Frosted Flakes, why would I pay $4 a box when I can pay $2.50 a box? It just doesn't make sense to me. So I play DFS very much the same way. I'm looking for pitchers that are on sale for their specific matchup. Corbin, down here with Woodruff, would be who I'd compare him to. And I get less Vegas odds, less K score, similar W score, and again, a weaker pin. So even though he's a dollar for dollar match, and I guess he's an okay pivot as well. He can have a great night, score you 50, 60 points, sure. But he's not as safe as Woodruff for the same price. I look down here at Flaherty. Now we've got a significant drop-off in price down to 8,000. We got a much stronger Vegas odds. We've got a little bit lower K score, but again, it's 20 points or so. It's not much different. We got a little bit, we got the same W score, which isn't that much different than Verlander's, honestly, and a little bit shakier bullpen. But we're facing Miami. We've got a weaker offense rolling into town. So theoretically, we might be able to hold on to that lead easy enough to get the win or the quality start or something like that. I like the fact that Jack Flaherty's only $8,000. I would take that sacrifice too. Now, do I like him so much that I would sacrifice Woodruff for? I don't know. Until I get into actually lineup building tonight, I don't know. I might, but on the surface, I shouldn't. It's going to depend on how hard it is to get the quality bats and stacks that I'd like to get. Now, the rest of these guys are all kind of moot. Hamels, $600 more than Flaherty for a lower K score, barely better Vegas odds, a higher W score, and a shakier pin. Yes, it's Chicago White Sox, but I'd rather save the $600. Same here, $100 difference between Happ facing Tampa Bay. Yeah, you get a better bullpen, but you get a higher W score, lower K score, and a lower Vegas odds. I don't need that. I don't need that for $100. It's not enough of a saving. Now, if he was $6,000, I'd probably take it and be happy about it. Clayton Kershaw, that's the ultimate price gouge. Sorry. Makes no sense to me. $10,700 higher than DeGrom. And I get vicious Vegas odds, which are great because LA should beat up on San Francisco. But I get a much lower K score because Kershaw's not the ball buster he used to be. I get a lower W score, which is great, and a strong pin, but I don't want to pay $2,700 over Flaherty, $1,400 over Woodruff for not even a 500 K score. Again, it doesn't make sense to me. So that's pitching in a nutshell. I like Woodruff probably the most. Verlander, maybe if I'm playing cash only. Flaherty, a little bit more for GPPs. Woodruff's probably good for both. DeGrom, Corbin are definitely GPP pivots, and the rest of the guys probably not. Don't really need them. So that's how I'm going to end up stacking up my lineups today, where I'm going to be starting today. How am I going to find the pitchers that I want to attack, though? I'm coming in. You can see me sorted here by Chop Shop, the K-score metric. These are the numbers that I just used. I go by DFSA grade, and I sort ascending. I want to bring all the crappy pitchers to the top. So by doing that, you'll see it shuffle, and it'll shuffle up these names a little bit. Now I've got some terrible, inexperienced pitchers here. I've got a lot of bad pitchers all the way down to, say, a 30, 35, 40, whatever. These are all bad pitchers. That doesn't mean we want to stack against all of them. We just want to figure out who are the worst ones. Which ones are the worst? And now I can scroll over this way a little bit, and I can look at the pitcher's numbers, right? And I got 81% contact out of Mitch Keller. 44% of the time it's hard contact. Man, I don't need any. That's a great situation for bats, am I right? 37% fly balls is okay. You can see the pink is getting a little bit bad. 5.14 walks per 9 is terrible. Lots of guys on base. It's a pretty good strikeout number, actually. Low home runs, a high whip, and a high Sierra, which is still going to give up a lot of runs. Might not give up a ton of power right now. He's obviously on a short sample size, being a younger pitcher. But you can see where we're going with this. This is a decent spot to start if we're going to attack bats. Logan Allen, not a lot of numbers to go off of, obviously. Yamamoto's the same. 47% is a small sample anyway. 47% there. Hasn't given up a home run yet. So we're on a very, very small sample. Because if you're giving up 47% fly balls and pitching to a 4.84 Sierra, it's only a matter of time before you give up some bombs. Small sample size. Again, he's not grading out well right now. Could he end up winning multiple Cy Youngs? I guess so. But, it remains to be seen right now. As long as he's performing poorly, we want to be taking advantage of that until the numbers start to change and tell us we should stop. But I look down here a little bit more. I can look at like home run per 9, and I can see that these two pitchers, Sampson and DeSclafani, are pitchers that should give up some home runs, pitchers to attack. I look at Sierra, and I see 4.8, 4.9, 5.0 in Senzatela, 4.94 in Kikuchi, 4.85 in Merrill Kelly. Give me a high Sierra and a high home run per 9, like here, 4.76, 1.91 for Ynoa. And we can slide right on over here to some of these guys, and we can look. Oakland should be on our radar for bats tonight. Detroit, Milwaukee, St. Louis, LA, Cleveland, Houston, Washington, Arizona. These guys should all be on your name for bats. You can narrow them down and whittle them down. You can do other things, like you can go into the Trends Overview tab, and you can look for who is Houston's in a good spot tonight. They're hitting well as a team right now. I can even open them up and see who on Houston's hitting well. Bregman, if he's leading off, would love that. 442 over the last 7 days in terms of his WOBA. He's swinging a fairly hot bat, and a 214 ISO is very, very strong, 50% hard contact. That's great for a leadoff guy in a pitcher's park facing a pitcher that should give up a couple of bombs a night. It's not rocket science. You just have to have the tools at your disposal. And since showing you a little bit of this, guys, you can sit in here and you can go blind all day long on statistics, or you can use our coaches to kind of point you in the right direction and summarize it all for you. It really comes down to what you want and how much research you want to do. But the bottom line is we have the sophistication in the tools, and I haven't touched on an optimizer, haven't touched on our coaches picks page, I haven't touched on a lot of other sort of stuff in terms of getting you off to a head start. This is stuff we might go through down the road as we show different parts of the process. But the bottom line is we can assemble that process for you. We can assemble bankroll management for you. We can assemble contest selection for you. I'll even show you this. This is my last 29 contests or so, 21 in the top 50, 11 in the top 30. Here's where I need work as a player, and this is a lot of variance. I've been doing this for several years. This will swing back. And this 21 out of 29 is a little bit unsustainable. Right now I'm hitting every damn 50-50 that I enter. Problem is I'm not leveraging my really, really good nights. I'm not having them often enough. I'm having a lot of stuff in kind of the top half to top third. And so I should be structuring my contest accordingly. Triple ups, 10-man leagues, 50-50s, double ups, things like that. I'd be crushing it. Don't enter so many GPPs when you're building with this kind of a pattern. Wait for things to come around. Occasionally I'll get on a hot streak that'll produce a lot of these single digits. What are these numbers? This is the percentile of finish that I have right now over my last 30 contests or so. I track these. If I finished 14th in a 100-man league, I put down a 14. It was a top 14% lineup across the industry, beat 86% of my competition. I'm using those numbers to tell me what contests I should be in: 3-mans, 5-man, 3-max tourneys, big tourneys, small tourneys, MME, head-to-heads, any of it. And I can guide you along the same path. But you have to come inside. You have to be a member inside DFSArmy.com, and you have to hit me up and ask me questions. It's what I'm here for. It's what I do all day long. Love doing it. Love helping everybody get better. Got a lot of track record. A lot of people saying thanks for the help in the contest selection. No other coach in the industry talks about it. Certainly not your lineup provider. So hopefully you see enough and you want to come inside, use that coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P. Trigger that 20% off discount. Click that link, dfsarmy.com. Get your butt in here and start winning today, because we're going to be out here showing you how we've been winning tomorrow. I'd rather have you on the team than sitting on the sidelines watching. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days.